Oh my God, I am so behind, so behind with everything that has gone on. I don't even know where to begin. This podcast is going to be all over the place. I'm going to talk about Biden. I'm going to talk about Trump yesterday at the CPAC convention, kids in cages. We're going in and we're going to talk about everything. So let's just start off with the obvious. Yesterday, Trump spoke as the final guest at the CPAC convention. It was an awesome speech. It really was. It was good to hear him speak again, considering what we've dealt with over the last not even 2 months of gibberish coming out of somebody's mouth. And like I say all the time, I do feel bad. I honestly feel bad for Biden. I do. And I feel like Dr. Jill Biden should be ashamed of herself for allowing her husband to go out there and literally be on the verge of a breakdown. She should be stepping in and saying that this is not okay. The man needs to get help. I say this all the time. I do feel bad for him, but he's putting himself in the situation to try and run a country here, and you're running the country that I live in. So now I have an issue. We did, though, hear that Trump yesterday is going to, obviously, he hinted at it. I don't really think he could say that yet. Who cares at this point what's allowed and what's not allowed? But he did hint at the fact that he will be running in 2024. Now people are trying to decide who they think this man is going to run with. I've said DeSantis from day one. I also think an amazing person that he should run with, I don't even know if she would be interested in this. This is coming from me. I made this up. Would be Candace Owens. Candace Owens and Trump, Candace Owens, DeSantis, Candace Owens would be an amazing team. I think that would be awesome. It's just that what all Republicans or conservatives think is what they say. So I feel like that would be an awesome team. They would get so many votes. My issue is now we have to hope that the whole voting disaster that we dealt with the last couple of months is fixed by then. I don't know. I'll decide. I just dropped my phone. Did I break it? No, I did not. We have to see in a couple of years how I feel. Maybe my mind will change, but I just don't have high hopes for that whole mess on the fact that I'm not going to even get into it. There's podcasts. You can go back and listen to those about what went down over the last couple of months. It's just fucking crazy third world country type shit. So we have to hope that if he does run again, voting is fair, as we live in the United States type fair. But like I said, I don't really have high hopes right now. Like I said in the start of this podcast, I am so fucking behind, with the news. It always updates so much that I can't even keep up with it. And then last week I was so crazy all over the place that I didn't even get a chance to record a podcast. But the amount of times I've heard Joe Biden speak, just in videos, online, on TV, the news, whatever, it's actually, like I just said, it's very sad to watch. I can't even, sometimes I turn off the TV because it's just, you look at him like he's an old man and he really should be getting help. But I heard him say this past week a couple things that I was like, holy shit. One of them was he came up to the microphone and he said, "Hi, I'm Joe Biden and I'm a Democrat." And then he left. What? Okay. We know you're a Democrat. You ran as a Democrat. Did you just realize that you're Joe Biden? What the fuck is that? And then another thing he said, and it slipped out. So I don't know if this is a Freudian slip kind of thing. I think deep down that Joe Biden is a racist. I said it since day one. Things he said, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. He also said a couple weeks ago that blacks and Hispanics don't know how to use a computer, find the internet. What the fuck is that? What does that even mean? He called, back in the day, 20, 30 years ago, he said places where whites and blacks were together, schools would be racial jungles. That's his terminology. That is so racist, it's not even funny. But the man was speaking recently and put two words together that don't even go together and said the N-word. I was like, oh my God. The fact that people could look at him and think that he's not a full-blown racist, he is. He is. Read between the lines, the man's a racist. Could you imagine if Trump did any of those, said anything about racial jungles, said the N-word in a speech, told people if you don't vote for him, you're not black, said that blacks and Hispanics can't use the internet. Are you fucking kidding me? The man is a fucking racist. He's a racist to the core. And I feel like when somebody's racist like that, things slip out every once in a while. You can't hide it. So he could try and pretend he's not racist, but deep down he is. So when he says certain things and he's not reading off a teleprompter, which he was when he said the N-word, which is even more frightening, and that still came out. How does that even happen? I have no idea. But the fact that that even slipped out is crazy. That is so fucking crazy. Like I said, if you're racist to the core, and there's nothing you could do. You could subdue it certain times in your life, but it will come out eventually. And I do think, just on Instagram and tweets I've seen, people are starting to wake up and realize who this person is. They were lied to and used as pawns for votes. And he's not doing anything that he said he would do for these people. So I just hope in a couple of years, people wake up and realize what a game they were part of and what a joke it was, that they were, basically, people were fucked. Like I said, they were used as pawns. Nobody really cared. They don't really care about you. They just want your vote, whether it's legal or illegal or a fake vote, one they made up. Like I said, I'm going to jump I always do this in podcasts. So why do I even say this all the time? Like, we know I jump all over in podcasts, but there's no script. It's just whatever's on my mind. Of course, my phone always rings when I'm doing a podcast, always. Anyway, another thing is, can we talk about the cages that they were so outraged about in 2019 when Trump had the detainment camp for when people came over the border that were illegal and had children with them? They would go to this, I'm calling it a camp. It's not really a camp. It's like a detainment center, which, mind you, were built by the Obama administration. Trump did not build anything. Those were there. Obama used them, and Obama built them. Then Trump used what Obama built, and people were outraged, right? That was in 2019. Now, keep in mind, Biden is not only using the same exact center to put kids in, he built on it. And he has, I'm looking at a picture on my phone right now, literal shipping containers. They're shipping containers with a tiny little window in them with bars on it that he's putting children in. What the fuck? Under Trump, they called that kids in cages, right? Because it literally is kids in cages. But keep in mind, Obama built them. He's a Democrat. Obama, Democrat, built them. Under Biden, they call it a migrant facility for children. But they're using the same exact center regardless. It's not like they're using a different center that they built. They're using the same one. They just added more cages to it to put kids in. But I am glad, and I don't know this person's name, but I did see it on the news, that when Biden's press secretary speaks, which we all know she circles back. She's always circling back. She never answers questions, ever. You never get a straight answer out of this woman. The press is going in on her and asking her questions. And they did say, how is it okay that Biden is using, I'm paraphrasing, but how is it okay that Biden is using Trump's same centers that were built under the Obama administration? That came from the press. And when I heard that, I was like, holy shit, is the press waking up? I don't think so. I think that was like a one-time thing. But when I heard that, I was like, oh, wow, maybe they are waking up. I don't know. That was surprising to me. I feel like as months pass and as we see gas prices going up and all kinds of shit, people are going to start to wake up because it's going to start to affect them personally. And we are going to start to see, not the media so much, but I think people in general are going to start to wake up and see what it is. Like, stop trying to make something out. I'm a realist. I say things like it is with everybody. Trump, Biden, Obama, whoever it is. I look at things for what they are. I don't try to twist things to make them good. If it affects you personally, like, for example, something as simple as gas prices going up, you will notice that. And you are going to wonder what the fuck's going on. Maybe people, I don't know if people are this intelligent. Are they going to do their own research to see why gas prices are going up? Or are they just going to blame the economy? Who the fuck knows? Let's just hope people, I don't have high hopes for people at this point. I really don't. But let's just hope that people are intelligent enough to do their own research on this shit. Like I said, I don't have high hopes. We also have this $1.9 trillion stimulus bill that was passed in the House last week. Still has to go to the Senate, but was passed in the House. And I'm all for helping people out. I own a small business. Trust me, I get it. We all need help out here. If you're a small business owner, you've been fucked this whole time, this pandemic. We all need help out here, and I totally get it. But this bill that they came out with should be for people, employers, people that own businesses, people that work in certain high risk, like if you've worked in the food store the whole time, if you've worked at, you know what I mean? Like those type of people, essential workers. That's the term I was looking for, and my brain went out for a second. Anyway, they have stuff in this stimulus bill, as usual, that has nothing to do at all with COVID. And I'm just going to read a couple of them to you. $350 billion for state and local governments. Now, what does that mean? That means they're going to basically be giving bailout money as usual to state and local governments for them to, God knows what they've spent these money on. I'll give you another example, like school, there was money given to schools and education for COVID in the last CARES Act that is still hasn't been, millions and billions of dollars still hasn't been touched or used. But hey, you know what? Schools are getting another $129 billion, whether they reopen or not. Are they going to use the last millions and billions that they got? Like, where's this money going? Okay. $86 billion for pension plans. You know who these pension plans are for? Government officials. $15 billion for Medicaid match. $30 billion for public transit. Medicaid match and public transit. $500 million for arts, humanities, libraries, and museums. $500 million for arts, humanities, libraries, and museums. Tell me what any of this has to do with COVID. Is this going to help small businesses, people that lost their jobs, essential work? Is this helping any of that, or are they just out for themselves at this point? There was another law, and I don't have it in front of me, and I'm going to paraphrase this, that I saw that people that work in government, so it would be nice if this was for everybody, working mothers and fathers, but people that work in government are going to have a certain amount of paid weeks to stay home and homeschool their kids due to school shutdowns. Okay, what about all the other parents that have been doing this since day one, since last March, that are trying to find time to work and homeschool their kids? Do they get paid weeks off? Why is it that the government is giving it, like with the $86 billion that goes to the pension plans? What? How is that okay? How is that? People need to look and see what else is in this. I'm glad there is stuff in here. Not a lot. I think it was 9% is what helps COVID. The rest of it is just bullshit. Goes overseas. Some of it even goes, like I've said, to Syria. Like, on top of the fact, wait. Biden just bombed Syria. He hasn't even been in office for 2 months, and he already is starting a fucking war with Syria. Not even 60 days in, after he said that prior to Trump being president, when Trump's in office, he's going to cause wars with every country and every leader. We're going to have wars. 4 years, he never caused a single war or dropped a single bomb. 2 months in, Biden already did it. Not even 2 months, less than 2 months. We're less than 2 months in, about a month and a half. We're dropping bombs in Syria. Okay, let me give you another fun fact regarding like that location. Biden, we all know, shut down the pipeline here in the United States. You know he's funding the pipeline over in Iraq? If he was for global warming and the Green New Deal, then he would be not for it regardless, no matter where it is. Wonder why that is. Think about it. There's another fun fact. I'm full of facts, right? You know I always come in with the facts. So the Finnish pipeline, if you saw a picture of the Finnish pipeline, it literally looks like a forest. Like you would never know looking at it that it is the pipeline. Never mind the fact that the lithium mines, you know, I don't know if people know what lithium mines are. It's like where batteries are made. It's still open. He left that open. So how are we going to keep the lithium mines open? You're either for or against shit like in the Green New Deal, which is a complete disgrace regardless. But how are you going to close one thing, open it in another country, but then still keep lithium mines open? None of that even makes any sense. That literally makes no sense at all. That's why people get frustrated, because if you have an opinion, you got to have an opinion 100% and all the way through. You can't have an opinion and change halfway through, because then nobody believes you and nobody's going to want to associate themselves with you because you're a flip-flopper. Just like with the fracking, what he said in the beginning. But no, like the problem is the media didn't press him on questions like this, so he never felt the need to answer them, and it was up to people to wonder like what exactly he was going to do. He is going to frack, he's not going to frack, he's not. Then you find out when he's actually in presidency. I'm like air quoting because we all know he's not like running the country right now. But you find out when he's actually sitting in the House, which is scary. That's scary. That's like a surprise for everybody because you don't even know what you voted for. I still to this day don't even know how many people actually voted for this man. We all know it's not the amount that they're saying it is, but the people that did vote for him most likely voted for him only to get Trump out. And the reason that they wanted Trump out was based on false information from the news. The Trump derangement syndrome. which a lot of people have. They don't even know why they don't like Trump. They just know that they don't like him because they've heard he's racist. They heard he did this or heard he did that, and none of it is true. And like I was saying before, people are going to start to realize what they voted for when it affects them personally. Something that will affect them personally is the Trump and Biden's tax plans. Now, I don't care I always say this all the time. I don't give a fuck who you vote for. I have no problem being friends with people who are Biden fans. No problem at all. What I have a problem with is when it comes down to common sense, because I'm going to read you just 4 different things that are in both of their tax plans. And if anybody could explain to me why they voted for Biden, without mentioning Trump, like why did you vote for Biden without mentioning Trump? I don't know if people could even do it because this is a disgrace. Corporate taxes, Trump had 21%. Biden is going up to 28%. Income and payroll tax, Trump was at 37%. Biden as 52%. Small business taxes, Trump 29.6%. Biden 39.6%. Capital gains and dividend taxes, Trump 23.8%. Biden 43.4%. Tell me again why you voted for Biden. Because whether you own a business or not, this will affect you. Because prices are going to go up. Taxes are going to go up. Gas is already going up. I think it's gone up like a whole $1 in the last 6 weeks. Not even. Maybe a month. It's already gone up. By the summertime, I don't even know what the gas prices are going to be. They're going to be... I'm not somebody... This sounds so stupid. I don't even pay attention to gas prices. I never did. I really should. I would get to the point where I was so low on gas, I would pull into the nearest station. And I would never pay attention to the prices. But I started paying attention maybe about 2 years ago. And I don't know what really made me pay attention because I've been driving all these years and never really did. But it's so obvious now that you can't help but notice how high gas prices are. And if you have I have a Wrangler, so I don't have a huge truck that has a huge engine. But when you have these truck drivers or these other people that have bigger trucks that are filling their tanks, like my fiance's truck, he drives a van. He fills that up. It's a lot more expensive, obviously, than my car. He'll notice it. So people are going to start to notice it, especially if they have a larger truck that are filling up their truck constantly for work. And that's going to affect people personally. So tell me again why people voted for him. His whole plan, 1, if he said he was going to do it, he didn't. And 2, if he didn't say he was going to do it, now he's doing it and he's surprising people. So I'm just confused at this point. I've been confused since day 1 with this whole thing, but as time goes on, everybody's saying this, and I believe it's true, we knew it was going to be bad. We knew this whole thing was going to be bad. We knew election night when we saw the coverage happening that shit was about to go down. We didn't think it was going to be this bad. This is bad. This is real bad. So I'm going to end this quick blabbing session with some of Biden's, over the last couple weeks, because he hasn't been president that long, of him just, talking wherever. And this is what we're dealing with at this point. I'm just going to include a couple to end this podcast. If you want to hear more of my insane opinion, or not even insane, if you want to hear more of my politically correct opinion, feel free to follow this podcast. I talk about anything from politics to Karens to entertainment, and I'll see you in my next one.
Make sure that scientists and public health experts, we're instituting now. The United States must take on together is broad and complex. I'm eager to hear next from my good friends, outstanding leaders. Senator Merkel about Shirley Jackson Lee, Al Green, Sylvia Garcia, Lizzie Pinelli, Pinell, and what am I doing here? I'm going to lose track here. And Mayor Turner, Judge Hidalgo,